Communities Act. I welcome all of the proposals in this bill. I believe that their enactment, both individually and collectively, will make a significant contribution to safeguard all communities across Canada. I will first address the impact for victims of violent crime. In my riding of Etobicoke Centre, there is a family named Sikovic. The parents are Vesna and Dvorin. Vesna is a piano teacher and Dvorin works at CBC Radio. Their son Boris attended high school in Etobicoke at Scarlet Heights. The Sikoviches were refugees from war-torn Sarajevo, with Boris arriving in Canada as an infant. This family worked to escape the horrors of a war where former neighbors preyed upon each other and visited atrocities upon each other in every form imaginable. The family settled in Canada, grateful for the new start that they had and grateful for the opportunities that Canada had provided their son. As Boris grew up in Canada, he became the all-Canadian kid, an athlete and gifted hockey player, a leader on the ice, helping less skilled players score and achieve rather than allowing his own talent to dominate. He mentored his teammates. At so young an age, he showed maturity and a wisdom that was returned by his large circle of friends through great affection and strong bonds that developed in elementary school and endured through high school and what would have appeared to be beyond into university and throughout life. Boris was a leader and one that this close circle rallied around. He was a natural and his future appeared limitless. Then, Mr. Speaker, on a night in 2008, Boris and his friends were transiting a local park, were accosted, and he was shot and killed while being robbed of his backpack and valuables. Mr. Speaker, the Sikoviches are victims devastated by the tragic loss of their only son. Their son who had natural gifts and talents and was on his way to becoming a model Canadian success story. What of the Sikovic family in this? Do they care that Statistics Canada says crime is down, that as the opposite members opposite often cite? I asked them that, Mr. Speaker, and the response was a resounding no. I challenge any members opposite to look that family eye and quote that statistic. The Sikoviches are not vengeful people, but they are entitled to justice for their son. On the many provisions in Bill C-10, victims of crime will have the ability to present statements at a parole board hearings. If attending the hearing, a victim may comment on the harm or damage resulting from the offense and its continuing impact, including concerns for his or her safety and the possible release of the offender. Even if the victim does not attend, the parole board may authorize presentation of the statement in an alternative format. Also authorized to present the statement are persons described who were harmed or suffered a loss due to the act of the offender. This includes any safety concerns and concerns regarding the offender's potential release. This provision provides victims with empowerment and a role in the corrections process. Other areas include the elimination of pardons for violent crime and measures that protect the public from violent and repeat young offenders. Mr. Speaker, today I speak for a family that has been tragically victimized, and I speak in the name of Boris Sikovic, who can no longer speak for himself, but today in this House, Mr. Speaker, his voice is heard. I will focus my remaining remarks on Bill C-10's proposals addressing child sexual exploitation and violent crimes in Part 2 of this bill. As members will know, these proposals were originally introduced as Bill C-54, the Protecting Children from Sexual Predators Act, and with all-party support had been passed by this chamber in the last Parliament. Bill C-10 reintroduced these proposals with some additional sentencing enhancements that are consistent with and reflect the overall objectives of these reforms. Part 2 seeks to better protect children and youth from sexual predators in two ways. First, by proposing sentencing enhancements to ensure that all sexual offenses involving child victims are consistently and strongly condemned. Second, by creating new offenses and measures to prevent the commission of child sexual offense. Mr. Speaker, Bill C-10 has been reported back to the House of Commons after having been thoroughly studied by the Standing Committee on Justice and Human Rights, without any amendments to its child sexual exploitation reforms.